If you've ever wondered which MREs hold up the best after freeze drying, I've tested a ton. I've narrowed it down to my top 5. These are the ones that taste amazing and store perfectly. And trust me, my number 1 is my hands down all-time favorite, and if you haven't made it yet, you're gonna want to. Starting at number 5, this is one of the first MREs that I ever made, and it turned out so delicious. This is just a taco soup that I turned into a freeze-dried meal in a jar. Here's how I made it. I am browning my ground turkey. I am going to be adding my taco spice packet to this, and this is 3 pounds. I am doubling the recipe for the taco soup so that I have plenty for the freeze dryer, and if there's leftover, it can feed my family this week. Because I'm all about lazy girl cooking and not wanting to chop anything, I am just using this seasoning blend, which is onions and peppers. I'm gonna saute them up first in my pan and then transfer them to my soup pot. Here is how we are looking so far. Just to have a caveat, I am not cooking with any oil or butter when I am sauteing this. We are looking good. So far, this is the meat and the veggies. Let's see what else we're gonna add. Taco soup, you gotta have corn, right? So I just got a bag of frozen corn, and I'm thinking about half the bag. Next are our beans. I am gonna start off with 1 can of each, black beans and pinto beans. I am gonna rinse and drain them first and toss them in the pot. Oh, my pot is getting full. I've got a few more ingredients to go. 2 cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes. And now I am going to do 2 cans of diced green chilies. These are medium spice level. I'm gonna put in it with the juice and the chilies for extra flavor. So I decided to add 1 more can of black beans, and I think now my ratios look great. I am going to add this chicken broth and just enough to cover this soup here. I put in about 3/4 of this, and then it is full enough. So now that this is ready, I'm just gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes, and then I will be getting it onto my freeze dryer trays, and I'm gonna pre-freeze this overnight just so that it is easier on my freeze dryer and will give me a little bit of a shorter freeze dryer run. The soup tastes amazing. I have it almost more like a chili than a soup, but that's how I prefer my soups. I like more of a thick chili consistency versus like watery soup. So this actually is like perfect and delicious. I am going to scoop this out onto my freeze dryer trays, and I am just using my silicone tray liners that I got from Amazon. I will have them linked in the video description below. So I am estimating each one of these trays is about 3 servings of soup. I mean, obviously it's all based on how hungry you are. I am not someone who like pre-measures out serving size and portion sizes and things like that. I just throw it on the tray, package it up, and then eat it, and going great. So I am now going to get my tray lids on here, stack these up, and then I will be able to easily transport them down to my freeze dryer. Our taco soup has been freeze drying for 22 hours and 45 minutes. It has entered its extra dry cycle. Here is how everything looks. And what's so cool is it just comes apart like that. Super dry, super crumbly. I'm hoping that 1 tray will fit into 1 jar. If not, I'll just get some more jars. I'm gonna do a couple smaller size jars and just see how we do. 5 jars ready. I did end up throwing the leftovers in a Mylar bag, which I'm just gonna label. This is about 2 servings of taco soup. And we will rehydrate one of these tonight. Are we ready to test out our meal in a jar? All I need to do to reconstitute it is add hot water, and boom, you got some hot soup. So let's go. I'm just gonna pour this, and until it's kind of all covered, there's no right or wrong amount of water. I just wanna be able to have it all covered. I'm gonna stick the lid on and just kind of shake it around. It's gonna sit in here for about 15 minutes, and if it's looking kind of dry, I will add some more water to it. Ready to try our soup. Let's see how this is. I gotta test it to make sure it's okay before I send it off with my husband to gymnastics. The only thing I might be concerned about not being fully rehydrated is maybe the corn. I don't know, it's been about 15 minutes. I don't know if it needed longer. Let's see. It's perfect. Everything, even the corn, was soft and delicious. The flavor is all there. I'm obsessed with this. These are the perfect meal in a jar. You got lots of protein from the turkey and the beans. We got it packed full of veggies. This is amazing. For number 4, this one is a chicken fajita mix. This was a dump and go recipe in the crock pot that turned out beautifully and rehydrated. You never even knew it was freeze dried before. This one was a winner. Here's how I did it. First thing I need is my crock pot. I'm gonna start with just like a cup of chicken broth in the bottom of the crock pot to have something for it to cook in. I'm planning to use about 4 or 5 chicken breasts because I want to make a lot. I want to have enough for me to have dinner tonight and then enough to fit on all 4 of my freeze dryer trays. So I'm just going to start by cutting my chicken open and we're going to stick it on top of the broth. I've washed my hands but want to sanitize my counter area before I continue. I used 4 packs of my chicken breasts from Costco. This came in a pack of 6 and there are 2 like smallish size breasts per little pouch. So I've got 4 left and I've got 8 in here. I want to season my chicken and my veggies, so I'm gonna start by just salting the top of my chicken. I'm gonna add an entire packet of our fajita mix on top of the chicken, and then my next packet I'll add on top of the veggies. I wanna show you how good that seasoning mix looks. It smells delightful. I think it's gonna be so good. Went in with my can of green chilies next. Juice and all. My shortcut for tomatoes is using salsa. This is that salsa I got at Costco. It's really good. And my shortcut item are the peppers. It's pepper and onion blend. They have yellow onions, green bell peppers, and red bell peppers. You don't have to do any chopping. I love it. I'm gonna dump in both bags because these are gonna shrink down as they cook, so I don't think it's gonna be too much. I'm now gonna add my Siete seasoning powder on top, and then I'll just give everything a big mix. Super full, but I'm just gonna try to give this a little bit of a stir. Already smells so good. You wanna cook this on high for about 3 to 4 hours or low for like 6 hours. I'm gonna be gone, it's 9 o'clock now. I'm not gonna be home until 3, which is 6 hours. So I'm gonna cook this on low. And when I come home from our field trip in school today, my house is gonna smell so good. It's been about 6 hours. I am gonna check on my chicken fajitas. They should be ready to shred up the chicken. I think the easiest way to do that is I'm gonna just get some tongs, pull the chicken out, shred it in a separate bowl, and then put it back in to mix it all together because I don't wanna like chop up all of the peppers. I've got all of my chicken shredded and I'm going to just put it back into the pepper mixture. This really smells so good. I think this is gonna be a huge hit. And not only an MRE recipe that I love, this is gonna be like on my weekly meal plan schedule. I mean, this really does look so good. I am like so impressed. I love bell peppers. I almost wish I added 1 more bag of them in here just so I could have more. But my husband is not the biggest fan of bell peppers, so I'm sure he would enjoy it just the way it is. So I mean, that's totally just up to your preference on how you like it. I am just popping this out. I'm gonna let it cool off for a few minutes. My crock pot is mad at me because I took the pot out. I'm just gonna let it cool in the pot for a few minutes. I need to go get my freeze dryer trays from my freeze drying room downstairs, bring them up. I am not pre-freezing today. I'm just gonna throw this right into the freeze dryer and we will see how long it takes. I don't know if I should have bothered using a tray liner because there's liquid in here and it's just gonna seep underneath it, but it's too late to change my mind. I'm just gonna try to smooth this out a little. Just the more thin it is, the quicker and easier it will freeze dry. These are looking so good. I'm gonna let these completely cool and come to room temperature before I put my lids on and carry them down to my freeze dryer. So I'll meet you back here in about 30 minutes probably. I'm going to my Harvest Right app. I powered up my freeze dryer. It does have to be powered up to be able to turn it, to use it from your phone. I'm gonna hit custom, process, and freeze. I'm gonna add an extra hour of freeze time because this is not pre-frozen. Drying, everything else I think is fine. I'm gonna hit save. Attempting to connect. Let's see if it connects. Da, 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 da. Okay, did I do this right? I think so. We're gonna hit start. Number 3 is just a traditional beef stew. This is a total comfort meal. And when you're just craving something like hearty, homemade, and delicious, a beef stew always hits the spot. Another meal in a jar. Here's how I made it. The Campbell's can of beef stew motivated me to make my own much better version. So here we go. I am making this stew in my Instant Pot. I'm just gonna first saute up my stew meat. This is about 2.5 pounds of beef stew meat that I just got from Walmart. I'm adding in my onions and I'm gonna let that saute and get a little bit of color on it. Going in with some garlic and tomato paste. This squeeze tube tomato paste is the best. I hate tomato paste that comes in the can because you only ever really need a few tablespoons and then the rest of the can goes to waste. So I love this. I sprinkled in some flour, Worcestershire sauce, and I'm just gonna let this, that's gonna be kind of my thickening agent. I've got about 3 cups of chicken bone broth going in. Yeah, I probably should have used beef broth, but I got chicken. That's okay. And then I've diced up some potatoes and carrots. You obviously could add whatever veggies you want. I threw in some thyme, and now I'm gonna let the pressure cooker do its thing. So my Instant Pot has been, ow, that was hot. I let it natural release for about 20 minutes, and now we're ready to open it up and see how everything looks. I'm tossing in some frozen peas here just at the very end. This looks and smells divine. I don't know why I don't make beef stew more often. It is so comforting, hearty, and delicious, and like such simple, clean ingredients that give you amazing flavor. I am now just going to set out my freeze dryer trays. I'm using my Harvest Right silicone tray liners this time. And I'm going to attempt to distribute this evenly among my 4 trays. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit before I put my tray lids on, and then I am pre-freezing these overnight. I just find that with soups and MRE meals, it makes the freeze dryer time way shorter than if I have the machine do all the work. So when I have the time and when I have the freezer space, I like to pre-freeze. I'm sad I'm not eating this for dinner tonight. We've already had dinner, but this tastes so good. I snuck a bite off camera and 10 out of 10. So each tray here has about almost 3 cups of soup in it, which I would say is about 2 servings. I mean, I don't know, it depends on how hungry you are, but I'm gonna go with each tray is 2 servings. I'm just gonna get my tray lids on, and then we're gonna carry them down to my basement freezer and let these cool overnight, and then in the morning we can get them into vanilla ice. Well, good morning. Let's get our freeze dryer settings going. I'm gonna do -10 initial freeze, extra freeze time 0 because I pre-froze this. Dry temp will do 125, extra dry 7 hours. I'm gonna hit save, start. Sometime during the 7-hour extra dry period, I will remove my trays, weigh them, put them back in for a couple hours and see if the weight has changed. That will just let you know if your food is fully freeze dried or not. So in 15 minutes, we can load up vanilla ice with our beef stew. My stew froze beautifully. Our freeze dryer is ready to load up. So our freeze dryer is doing its thing. It'll probably take 24 to 36 hours, I am guessing. These are some pretty dense trays. Vanilla ice has been running for 26 hours. We have entered its extra dry cycle. So this is the time where I do my weight test. The last and final weight was the same as the weight before. It tinkered around like a gram or two less, but I'm gonna call it good. We're gonna pull this out. Here's how we're looking out of the freeze dryer. It is nice because it kind of all stayed together, like it shrunk in and then just freeze dried. I was worried it was gonna spill tons underneath my mat, but it doesn't look like it got too messy or anything. So that's great. Let's get to packaging this up. But I gotta sneak a bite of a carrot. That is so good. It tastes like a stew cooked carrot, and it's just like soft and light and delicious. If I really squish the ingredients down in these jars, I am able to fit one tray into my jar. So that made me happy. They actually fit in my jars quite nicely. All I have left to do, I like to toss in an oxygen absorber. Not totally necessary, but it's just extra insurance that your food is gonna stay nice and dry. I stick my lid on and then I vacuum seal the top of it. Don't these look so much better than what you can get in a can from the grocery store? I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but these look amazing. It looks like real food. It's not a can of slop with mystery, gross ingredients and stuff in that. This is, I know everything that's in it. I home cooked everything that's in it. I added my own spices. I used bone broth, which is great for you. You can't beat it. If you're interested in making any of these meals and you don't own a freeze dryer yet, check out the link in my video description below. You can check out all of the freeze dryer options there. I have a size medium and that's worked perfectly for me and my family and made all of this food. Number 2 is the pineapple chicken curry that I made last year. This is my favorite like chicken and rice type of dish. The flavor is so good. It was very easy to make. If I remember correctly from my like recap of the year last year, this one ranked in at number 1. Today it's number 2 because we've got a new reign for the best MRE meal. But here's how I made this one. It is a hit if you have not seen this recipe yet. Here's how I made it. Here's how it nicely chops up our onions. Those onions were very pungent. My eyes are now full on watering. I'm now gonna add in my diced up bell pepper. Oh my goodness, I lost my spatula in my pot. I'm cooking this in a large stock pot. This is actually gonna end up being a 1-pot meal. Well, besides the rice, which I love because I'm only dirtying up one dish. But everything is just gonna cook right in this pot. Got my peppers going in. I'm gonna give these a stir. I'm gonna let these saute for a couple more minutes and then I'm gonna just add some garlic. This is the coconut milk that I was telling you about that I get from Costco. It's so good. I am adding 2 cans of coconut milk to my pot. I feel like this isn't gonna be enough liquid to be able to cook the chicken and all that pineapple, but oh, what is wrong with me? See how it goes. I am just going to toss in my pineapple and then my chicken. This seems like a lot of chicken, but that's good. I like a lot of protein. If it needs more water, I may add like chicken stock or something, but I don't know, maybe we'll be fine. I'm gonna try to give this a good mix. It's actually mixing okay. I think the amount of liquid is just fine. Oh, this smells so good. I'm just gonna wait for that to come up to a boil. I'm gonna cover it with a lid, let it simmer for like 30 minutes, I think is what I'm gonna do. And then we can add our rice and get it ready for our tray. This looks and smells so good. I have to taste it. It's gonna burn my mouth off, but maybe I should wait. This was so good, so good. I think my husband's gonna love it too. He really loves Thai food, the really spicy kind. I can't do the spice, but he loves the spice. He's gonna really like this. Here's my beautiful curry on my trays. I'm just gonna let this come to a complete room temperature because you don't want to put warm food into the freeze dryer. So I'm gonna let this come to room temperature and then we will get our freeze dryer going and I'll show you all the settings I'm gonna use. My food has come to room temperature and I have it down here in my freeze dryer room. I'm just waiting for my freeze dryer to power up so that I can get it starting the cooling process. I'm gonna do initial freeze -10, extra freeze 1 hour. Dry temp is 125. I am increasing my dry time to, let's just do 7 hours. That just gives you a grace period for when your freeze dryer is done. Save, start. You hear it click on, and then we have to wait 15 minutes before we can load up our trays. The machine is up and running. I'm guessing this is gonna be a 2-dayer. These are very high in moisture and not pre-frozen. Pineapple takes a long time to freeze dry, I know, so we're gonna be patient with this one. Now we're at 39 hours. We can take it out now. Here they are. It is just completely light, breaks apart. Looks perfect. The way I want to package these up is using Mylar bags, and I'm going to do a few individual meals, and then I'm also going to store 2 entire trays in these bigger bags here. The thing that I love to do with them is just use them for when I don't feel like cooking. So 1 tray will definitely easily feed my husband and I. So I'm gonna do like 2 meals worth, or 1 meal in each bag. So when I have a night that I just don't wanna cook, I can come grab this, throw some hot water on it, and we've got some amazing homemade, got some hot water here that I'm going to add to this. I'm sorry, I eyeball everything, so you know. We're just gonna guess. If it needs more water, we'll add more. This is looking okay. I'm just gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes and I'm gonna come in and stir it halfway through. And I think we should be good to go. Time to try this. It smells amazing. I'm using my spatula. Oh my gosh. This tastes so good. Like how when I made it. I need to try a piece with the pineapple. It's completely moist, and like I even got pineapple juice when I took a bite of the pineapple. I'm so impressed. Before I show you my #1 meal, if you have been following along on my channel lately, you know we have a sweet little moose that's been hanging around our house and I hadn't seen him for a couple of weeks. Well, Gus is home and I've got a little picture of him for you right here. Gus! So we're thrilled to see that Gus is back and happy and living. Are you ready for #1? Got it right here. This was one of the MRE meals that I made for Mr. Freeze Dry when he was going on his hunting trip that ended up in disaster, but we won't talk about that. We still have all of his MRE meals. He did try this recipe and said it was like one of his favorites. This one was so good. It is the green chili chicken enchilada soup. It is so flavorful and delicious. Here's how I made it. We're grabbing a can of diced green chilies, 1 can of green enchilada sauce, a pack. I really like the Siete brand seasonings. I got the chicken fajita seasoning, a package of bone broth, pinto beans, and then I got some cream cheese, sour cream. We needed an onion and a jalapeno. And then I also will be adding shredded chicken. Let's go. I have diced up about a half of an onion and 1 seeded jalapeno. I'm gonna saute it. I'm cooking everything in my stock pot for this soup, so I only have to dirty 1 dish. I'm adding in some salt and some of my freeze-dried garlic powder. Yeah, didn't mean to do that. The recipe calls for 3 cups of water, but I think I'm gonna stick with 2 for now. I just don't wanna chicken broth. I don't want this soup to be too watery, just because we're gonna remove all the water anyway. We'll do 2 1/4. So I'm gonna let this simmer as all the rest of my ingredients are just kind of like dump and go. This is a can of green chili enchilada sauce. And we've got a can of diced green chilies, and I'm adding that with the juice and everything. I lost another lid. Go me. Okay. I've got a can of rinsed and drained pinto beans. The recipe calls for corn, but my husband does not prefer corn, so I'm just leaving that out. Me personally, I would like corn in it, but he doesn't. So we're gonna, since this is for him, make it the way he wants. I love the Siete brand of spice mixes, and so I just grabbed this chicken fajita one. I figured it would go great with chicken enchilada soup. So this is just the seasoning I'm going to use rather than do individual things with like cumin, chili powder, all of that. I'm just gonna put in probably like a third of this packet. Here is my shredded chicken. I don't know if I'm gonna use all of this. Maybe. Yeah, we'll just dump it all in. If it doesn't all fit on my freeze dryer tray, I will just save some for myself for lunch tomorrow because it's gonna be so good. The creamy component to this soup is cream cheese and sour cream. I purchased the lower fat cream cheese just to reduce the fat content in here and the reduced fat sour cream. I think I'm gonna do half a block of cream cheese and then about a quarter cup of sour cream. Gotta steal a little taste for seasoning. This is so good. It is so flavorful. I don't think it needs anything added to it. It literally tastes perfect. This is so good. I'm just gonna wait for the little bits of cream cheese to finish melting. Then I think we can load up our freeze dryer tray. Since this one's a soup, I think I'm not gonna use a tray liner. Oh, you know what I was gonna add to this that I forgot is a scoop of rice. Normally when I would serve this, you would put like crunchy tortilla strips on top or something like that, but he's not gonna have that. He just wants to have a full meal in the pouch, and I want it to be more filling than just this. So from my rice that I made earlier, I am going to add some. I just want to make sure he has a full belly at the end of a long day of hunting, and I just think that rice is going to help beef this up a little bit. Okay, so I decided no tray liner, and I'm just gonna use there's some water in there, a measuring cup to help me scoop this out. All right, so 5 cups fit on this tray. I think that's gonna be plenty for 3 servings of soup. Shouldn't it be? If not, he could always just have 2, because I'm just gonna send all of this with him and he'll eat what he needs to eat. Our 15 minutes is up, and now we can load up our trays. Everything looks like it has dried beautifully. I'm gonna work on packaging these up. As I put in the oxygen absorber, I'm also gonna label the bag. Here's the final roll call of everything we have. 3 chicken tiki masala meals, 3 green chili chicken enchilada soups. This one was my favorite. 3 orzo lemon soup with sausage, and then the breakfast scramble. Yummy. So there you have it. These are my top 5. Let me know some of your favorite MRE meals to make, and we can share some more ideas with each other. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. Bye, friends.